All right, because this channel is a shotgun blast or whatever the hell I feel like doing that day, I saw this new promotional piece come out for the Skeleton Crew. And just because a lot of people have said, don't attack this show, it's for kids, it just makes me want to analyze and scrutinize everything about it even more. So we're going to do that right now with this little directors roundtable or directors and writers, whoever the fuck these people are. We're going to analyze everything that they say with extreme scrutiny. Let's do it.
Just start yelling stuff. We'll get professional.
It's let's see here. We got Skeleton Crew Filmmaker Roundup or Roundtable, released by Disney Plus. There, I even gave it a like. See how nice I am before I even started watching. I'll give it a like here.
It's really fun to be able to write a show with your best friend and then make it with all of your friends. And we're really
runs a little bit of risk of yes, man. Hey, look, there's a blue hair. I almost thought she had a Republican Party insignia going right here, but it appears to be just a little flumpy alien monster. That's the Pixar lamp right there. We got some very, I don't know, kind of a modern aesthetic. Looks like a workbench in my garage.
fortunate.
Especially when the show's about a bunch of friends.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew is about friends.
Hey,
it's by friends for friends.
It's the retarded
Starring
looking
friends.
Neil. It's the retarded looking Neil. Oh my gosh, look how stupid he looks. I hate that guy. And then we've got Geordi from Star Trek The Next Generation here. And we've got a bunch of hookahs for the kids. That's always good. This chick, I think she's wearing her jacket like One Piece characters where she doesn't put her arms in the sleeves. Oh, and since it's a pirate show, even the robot only has one eye. How wonderful.
This is what it's going to be like. This is as best as we can do.
Power of friendship.
This is going to be a fun roundtable
Wow.
because I've known Ford since everyone calls him Ford. No one calls you Chris, right? Do you want to be called Chris in the roundtable?
No, that's weird. Just call me Ford.
Ford. We've known each other for
Holy shit, that's the most cringe group of people I've ever seen in my life. Let's hope that they continue with that, and I literally just die of cringe and don't have to watch the show.
such a long time. I've known you since I was 18. I've known you since I was 18. I've known you since I was 18.
Yep.
That guy looked really creeped out
We just
by
met
that.
like a couple of hours.
That guy looked very creeped out by that. What was that reaction? Oh, hey, it's Bryce Dallas Howard. I didn't realize she's looking a little older these days. Oh, well. This dude, he's sketchball. Jake, I don't know what Jake's up to, but Jake looked kind of suspicious, like he didn't really believe that backstory that was given to him.
I was 18. I've known you since I was 18. I've known you since
He just casts his eyes down and maintains a deadly serious look. Yes, you have. That is what the script said.
I was 18.
Yep.
And
We just met like a couple of hours ago.
Yeah.
What was your name?
So I'm guessing Bryce Dallas Howard was famous. She knew all the, if I'm believing what they say here, she knew all these people since they were 18, and so they all got a job because of it.
we all went to school together at NYU, and I'm just a fan of
school
you.
buddies.
Right back at you guys.
On the third
We can all kiss each other's asses. That's great. All right, let's get to business.
Spider-Man, I was shooting with Jon Favreau. We were just talking, and I gave him the very, very quick pitch, and he was like, would you want me to, like, produce it? Like, is that cool? It would be, like, me and Dave Filoni. And I was like, yes, Jon Favreau, that would be great.
I remember.
Wow. So I don't know how much budget this got, but that was all it took. Sweet.
When I was working on season 3 of Mandalorian and doing the previs, the Third Floor team who animates and creates all
Bryce, don't mention season 3. Nobody likes season 3.
the previs, they were working on the show, on Skeleton Crew. And I was like, oh my gosh, how is it? And they were like, it's so good. It sounds so good. And so there was already.
Wow, let's all just fillet each other. All right. Here's why I don't give a shit whenever people say this. If you watch anybody who is in Hollywood, or anybody who's even tangentially related or wants to get interviews with Hollywood people, that is the exact sort of hype you'll get every single time. I have never once seen anything, and I know this one's a promotional thing, but I'll even see podcasters who live around the LA area who just clearly want to get interviews, it's always, oh my God, guys, it's so good. Oh my God, guys, I asked the people who get paid by the company to say that it's good, and they said it was amazing. It's like, it never matters. It's never, who is this going to convince? Because everybody knows you're getting paid.
Like buzz on campus about it, you know?
It was a really easy yes. And you told me the elevator pitch of the show, and then mentioned that Jude Law was going to be starring in it, and
I bet they have a totally neutral opinion on Jude Law and aren't. I bet they aren't at all just going to say, "Oh my God, he's one of my Let me get one of them is going to say that he's one of their favorite actors.
feel like I had just left set like 5 minutes earlier, you know, making a movie with Jude and a bunch of kids, and I was like, oh, this is going to be exceedingly comfortable.
Yeah, and that was almost weird because
What a strange phrase. Exceedingly comfortable. Who the fuck says that? You're a strange man, Mr. Bearded Bald Man. And you're just a nerd. Are you Josh Shapiro, my state's governor?
I don't think we knew that.
Nah, you can't grow a beard like that now that I think about it. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good one. It's more of a neck beard. I need to even trim mine. But no, Josh Shapiro is even more nerdy than this guy.
When we first thought of you, and then we thought like, oh, is he gonna want to just repeat what he had done?
You're gonna want to work with Jude Law again?
And it was like, duh.
And kids.
And pirates.
Yeah, the answer was yes.
Yeah, there's a very specific Venn diagram that's like Jude Law, pirates, kids, and then David Lowery is in the center of that. That's the guy you get.
Yeah.
I'm just their roommate from college, so it's sort of, it was more like...
No, you're very qualified, Jake, very qualified.
Yeah,
Like,
Jake.
maybe not that qualified. Like, it was more like...
Jake, that's legit not true.
Everyone keeps saying, like, I'm qualified a lot in a way that makes you feel like maybe I wasn't so qualified, but that's all right. It's fine. I just had to...
I feel like they're addressing the nepotism without really addressing the nepotism. Does nepotism extend to college roommates? I don't know. Point is, not meritocracy.
clean up after you guys at the end.
You have a particular set of skills.
Yes, exactly.
How did you get the Daniels to do this?
I know the Daniels through their DP, Larkin Seipel, who Jake has worked with. He shot all of Beef. And so we've all been friendly, and they're just like such amazing, creative guys.
When we hired them,
Why, this is a lot of vagaries. It's just, you're amazing. You have a particular set of skills. They're super talented. Name like a specific thing that they've done in a past project. You know, oh, they had this great shot. They had this great bit of writing that you put in this show. All I've heard is that you've worked with Jude Law and Pirates and Kids a lot before, and then you got to do it again, and we were all friends in college. Congrats.
that was before Everything Everywhere came out. We knew they were awesome, just their
Neil.
whole aesthetic. It's just so original and amazing.
We wanted them, and we wanted Lee Isaac Chung. Minari is like the most moving story of like a little boy going into a new world that he doesn't understand, and that's basically a version of what this show is.
And Isaac, it was really cool because we got to work on season 3 of Mandalorian together. And so he was like one of the directors that had gotten the bug and was just like, yeah, I'll do another one.
Yeah.
Did you just say Mandalorian season 3 again? I don't want anybody who worked on season 1 and season 2. You know, I got gripes with them, but season 3 is a massive, massive step down. Why do you keep mentioning season 3 specifically? You're trying to do some revisionist history here, Disney? Is that what you're trying here? Like, oh, season 3 of Mandalorian, it was so great, remember? No. Well, I do remember that it was not.
He already understood the process, and
Yeah.
that plus his ability to work with kids was just like made him so perfect.
You know, something that I noticed that was really kind of extraordinary is so often when you're doing anything as a director, you think about tone. Like that's a hugely important component, especially when you're a director who's coming in
Little
and directing
bobbleheads
an
over there.
episode, you know, where there are creators and writers and showrunners who are also directing and all.
Okay, dude on the end is a legit just bobblehead. He needs to stop. He's got his legs crossed, his little arms folded under the table, and he's just...
All that. And so you really need to kind of not create the tone yourself. You need to adopt the tone. And what was so cool is because you guys just come with a tone. Like that's just inherent. And it, I think, allowed for there to be so much cohesiveness in the storytelling because
Look at him,
you
bobblehead.
all have such a shorthand. And I mean, I feel kind of included in this as well. Like I know what you guys do. I know the vibe. And it was just awesome to get to kind of step into that.
That's what's great about having Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni as your producers is because they're like the ultimate safety net. They give you sort of the freedom to follow whatever creative path you want to go down, and they'll let you know. It's like,
and then Glasses dude, he does the frown, like he's trying to be discerning, but then you impress him, but it's constant and it's everything you say. So it's not really your impress. It's just he's going to agree with everything you say because either he wants to get in your pants if you're Bryce Dallas Howard, or he just wants to get this interview over with the other people.
bumper bowling. They'll let you know if you're going too far one direction or the other.
Yeah.
People are always asking what are the tonal inspirations for the show.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Because everybody says the exact same thing. I can tell you exactly what he's going to say. Goonies, 80s, Amblin Entertainment with the, Steven Spielberg. Let's see, Stand By Me. I'm just thinking of any movie with kids in the 80s. E.T. They already did that with Agatha when they copied on the stupid fucking moonshot. So we all know what you're going to say. And if anybody asks you this, it's because they know what you're going to say and they just want to get the soundbite.
And it's not like you and I have ever like consciously sat down and said, well,
Right, made a list.
Yeah, a list of like, it's going to be a little bit of this Amblin Wonder magic with a hint of this. That's just like in our DNA. So we just talk about the story and then write it. And then I think find ourselves surprised at what we're referencing when we're writing.
Right.
It just
And-
comes out
yeah.
like.
Okay, but you have always loved pirates.
I have always
There
loved
was a sound
pirates.
project from freshman year where you guys are just doing all of the
Oh, wow. They're such great friends.
pirate voices.
Yeah.
It's like a pirate radio drama.
I love pirates.
So this is not coming
Always
from
love
nowhere.
pirates.
This is
It's fun to have a genre as an entry point to help you sort of explore a different section of the
He sounded a little angry about that. You're a liar. You always like pirates.
Star Wars world. And we went back and watched like old pirate serials from like the 20s and 30s, and that was a really fun entry point.
But just the stuff that you connect with as a kid.
As a kid, you want to go on an adventure. As a kid, I grew up in Colorado in the middle of nowhere, and we just go for walks out in these like fields with nothing around, and you're just hoping that you go on a kind of Amblin adventure. That's just what we grew up with, and that's the kind of adventure that we.
You thought that as a kid, huh? I went to the pool. Wasn't really anticipating an Amblin adventure. Played video games, which have their own adventure, but not so much what he's talking about. I had woods. We hiked. We caught crawfish down in the creek. Not so much what he's talking about, but maybe somebody else had that experience. Good for you.
We were always looking for as kids.
Yeah.
The Amblin reference is so a part of us because we were raised in that world.
There's that sense of wanting to go on an adventure as a kid, but I think anyone can remember that moment, like when you're a kid and you sort of expect that like maybe all adults will be safe and helpful, and then you realize that like adults are complicated and the world is not. And that's even in
That has nothing to do with what they were talking about. What the fuck are you talking about? We're having adventures as kids, but also adults are not all trustworthy. What? There was nothing we were talking about had anything to do with adults. But thanks, John. Okay, so they clearly got their little bingo card they want to check here. Adventure, kids, 80s.
Goonies, it's this like realization that adults don't always have your
Goonies, he
best
said
interest at heart
Goonies.
or want to do things. I just thought there was something really, really resonant about that.
And there's a really interesting tonal balance. Like the thing that made those Amblin movies have that spirit was something that Kathy Kennedy would talk about. She would say they were grown-up films that just happened to star kids. So you'd make 4 10-year-old kids your main characters, but it's not.
Kathy Kennedy got the coffee for the creative people on those films. If she gave any insight, it's just a third-hand perspective that anybody who watches the movies could have had. And look, he's doing his little frowny face, discerning nod even now. Kathy Kennedy, she is filleted on her IMDb way too much. She was an assistant, a glorified assistant.
Not a kid's show. It's not a kid's film. You're still making the stakes really real. You're still making it dangerous. You're combining that, you know, childlike sense of wonder with a real dangerous world and a Star Wars show that can sit next to all the other things in the Star Wars environment. Having Jude on set is like, Jude Law is so amazing. And he was like sort of the co-director and like in so many ways, because he's there with the kids in almost every scene, keeping them
My God, you were so incompetent. He had to do 2 jobs at once. Way to go.
focused, running lines with them, you know, making sure they hit their marks. Like he was just like.
I feel like that's somebody else's job. Why would Jude Law have to do all of that?
In addition to being like an incredible actor and wonderful man, like he also just helped us so much with the kids.
It's such a gift to have an actor like that who not only can just, you know, give you that incredible performance, but also show the next generation of talent.
And just as
That dude's got creepazoid vibes. I'm sorry. The bald bearded man is his stare is making me unnerved. Is making my skin crawl.
an example, I just remember seeing him like in the cockpit, and he's, you know, holding the yoke, and he's looking, he's seeing all this stuff, and it's
He got in somebody's. And
just a blue screen. And it's like he seemed more lost in his imagination than the kids. And they would looked at
no, dude, he was spacing out because he was bored as fuck. It's like, and this guy's watching him going, wow, he's really lost in his imagination. Jude Law's like, hello, darkness, my old friend.
that and be like, okay, I see. You really have to like really imagine really hard.
Yeah, he's like, in a way, him in real life and his character are kind of like a grown-up version of all of the kids on the crew. And yeah, he brought just.
So all the kids are the same because they all the same grown-up version?
He
An
brought
odd thing to
like
say.
the grown-up side of that sense of wonder and imagination.
We'll make a partnership. But we have to move fast.
Another incredible.
Remember, kids, always get in the vehicle with a stranger who shows up and meets you for the first time. Disney teaching good lessons.
Thing about making the show is that when your main characters are 4 10-year-old kids, every day on set is like the greatest day in the world because they're so amazed at every single thing that's going on.
It's the best morale booster.
Yeah, like everyone has a great time because the kids are having a great time, you know. They're seeing animatronics and puppets and just all kinds of crazy special effects. They're having so much fun. And our 4 kids were just such a fantastic little group. Like, I love them so much.
Yeah.
It reminds you of why you got into this business in the first place. So that like you're getting to pretend, you're getting to play, you're getting to invent and have so much fun doing it. And so often filmmaking can become a job, but it's not. And when you're working with children.
Oh, good. We don't have to pay you. Disney listening to this to like, Bob Iger's like, not that they're probably getting paid too much anyway, except maybe Bryce Dallas Howard. Oh my goodness. We have fun.
And it reminds you that this is all make-believe and it's so much fun.
Robbie was doing all the jobs. He would always do the clapperboard.
Worker.
Anytime anyone would let him, he wanted to do that. He wanted to call action and cut. He wanted to learn what all the jobs were.
He also started the trend of mustaches on set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mustaches.
yeah.
They all came dressed up as various crew members on Halloween.
Robbie came and dressed as
Robbie was dressed as
John
me.
Watts. He
Jesus Christ, lady, don't have to yell. We're right here.
showed up with a Starbucks, and his earphones,
Based on what the concept of the story was going to be, we knew they had to start in a more safe planet. It was an opportunity to, you know, design a new thing. Like the kids' bikes was a really good place to start because I think when you're designing a speeder.
Guys, what if we did 80s Amblin bikes, but we took away the wheels? What if we did Suburbs, but with Star Wars coat of paint?
Bike, it looks really cool.
Yeah. Like,
So
how do you make Wim's bike be kind of
we're
corny?
like, come back, we need to bring in more Huffy, you know, and
Yeah, it's like little tassels on
and
it.
we put tassels on it, and you know, there's tassels in space.
Are there tassels in space? These are the kinds of
There are
questions.
now.
And that was the crazy thing.
You know, always call Dave Filoni and be like, are there tassels?
Yeah, can we
in
do
something?"
that?
And he said, are you seriously calling me about something so stupid? I can't believe you're even bothering me at 3 a.m. right now. I don't give a fit about the tassels in space.
And the scariest thing he would say is, well, there are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his way of telling you he didn't give a shit. Don't call him for such inconsequential stuff.
I'm excited for people to see Skeleton Crew because it's the same Star Wars universe that you know and you love. It's just a new perspective. The ability to see that world through the eyes of 4 10-year-old kids, I think, is a completely new way to enter this world that some of us know and love, some of us maybe haven't ever really experienced before.
Wait, what? You never seen Star Wars before? Is that what you're telling me? Which one of you hasn't seen it? I bet it's that guy on the end. He doesn't look very happy.
Yeah, we were just drawn to that idea of these kids stumbling into the larger galaxy and not understanding it all. That was just natural to us, but it turned out that it's a great way for people who don't know the universe to get introduced to it because they're along with the kids. Or if you know all about it, you know all the things the kids are getting wrong and messing up, which is funny and tense.
You see, we appeal to all 4 quadrants, so everybody should watch it. We should have the highest ratings ever. Whoa, please watch it or else we'll never get work again.
Yeah, it's fun to be able to make.
Just kidding. They'll hire us either way. Nobody gives a shit whether we're successful or not.
Something that works if you don't know anything about Star Wars and also works if you know everything about Star Wars.
Yeah, and then those two people can finally be friends with each other.
Wow.
Great job.
Did I miss the joke? Oh. Well, we are going to check it out. And, yeah. We're going to check it out. And, go ahead and get rid of that. Not only are we going to check it out, but we're going to make thumbnails with Neil with red glowing eyes. I don't know what kind of headlines we want, whichever one pisses off certain Star Wars channels the most, probably, because that's the only way we're going to have fun with this piece of shit. Because if those writers are anything to go by, not so good. But we'll give it a fair shot. I was giving it a fair shot there, trying to read them. They told me it was going to be fun, 80s, Amblin. Kathy Kennedy told them that kids were in danger in those movies because apparently they never noticed that. And it's a fresh perspective because there are children around. Seen those plenty in Star Wars, so I'm not sure what they mean by that. But none of them knew how to do anything on set, so they made the children and Jude Law do all their work. It's basically what I got from that, so let's see how that turns out. Maybe it'll be amazing. Maybe it'll be fantastic. Maybe we'll cry our eyeballs out. Till then, keep on watching. Oh, and check this out. Don't worry, I'm not going to go too low, but yeah, I find your lack of cheer disturbing. Yeah. Check it out. Yeah. Turned out to be a Star Wars show. I didn't even think about that until just now because I was playing a stupid monkey game. Anyways, we'll see you next time.